Hello again. Thanks for coming back today for another episode with Mark and Mamas. We're so excited to discuss another topic today, and it's going to be one I think will resonate with most of you: perfectionism.
Yes. So this subject has absolutely come up for us in life and in our trading journeys as we manage it regularly. When you're a high achiever with big goals beyond the norm, there's a personality type that often goes with that. We are driven to succeed, to break boundaries and strive for the best. Sometimes we really subconsciously aim for perfection with our choices and outcomes and put forth substantial effort and perseverance. And I can say from my own experience that I never intended to push towards perfectionism exactly and didn't always realize that I was at the time. But the feelings that result from falling short of perfection have been really humbling at a minimum. You can often trace these hard emotions back to potential unrealistic expectations in your career.
Yes, so perfectionism can really sneak in without our conscious consent. This quote from the musician Michael Law sheds some important light on this topic. At its root, perfectionism isn't about a deep love of being meticulous. It's about fear. Fear of making a mistake, fear of disappointing others, fear of failure, and fear of success. So this really speaks to me because it's just so raw and true. It's so much prettier and socially acceptable to say I'm a perfectionist than to say sometimes what I'm really feeling, which is I'm afraid I'm not going to meet my own expectations or expectations of others. So, getting caught in this pursuit of perfectionism can be a real detriment to ourselves and to our goals as well. If we spend too much time and energy trying to create a perfect environment to start something, then that usually results in missed opportunities to learn truly from trial and error and figure it out along the way. So there's very few things in life that come with a clear, black and white instruction manual, and certainly not the best things in life do. So perfectionism can also, look like overthinking and hesitation. And when that's stripped down, it really just reveals a true lack of confidence. So in my opinion, confidence is built not by having perfect outcomes, but rather by accepting setbacks and continuing to make moves despite not having the perfect circumstances to do so. And if I'm being focused on making my daily choices and growth and outcomes look perfect, then I'm most certainly not focusing on the real work and the requirements that are necessary in my pursuit. The greatest freedom for growth, in fact, really lies within your allowance of forgiveness and mistakes along the way.
Okay, so if you're unsure if you battle this in your psychology, let's talk about the signs of perfectionism. So maybe you attach your worth to your performance and achievements. You believe that you either win or lose, but there's no middle ground. The fear of not being liked makes it hard for you to say no to others. You procrastinate when you don't have every step figured out. Maybe missing a workout or eating an unhealthy meal stresses you out disproportionately. You don't ask for help and show your vulnerability. You don't tolerate mistakes from yourself or from others. You stay in your comfort zone to avoid embarrassment or failure. I know that I, for one, have been guilty of all of these from time to time. We're not immune from these emotional experiences, but let's be real, the world is imperfect, and there's such beauty in that diversity and variety. Progress and growth does not have to be linear or perfect to count and to compound.
Oh my gosh, yes, I can relate to so much of that. So, does any of that relate to you guys? Does it resonate with you guys like it does for me? I know I'm the harshest critic of myself. I often feel like I have no room to make any mistakes because I also fear regret. By the way, we're also going to discuss regret very soon in another episode. They kind of go hand in hand. Perfectionism is ultimately a distraction and it's a burden. It's not a standard or a goal we should have. Let's call it out for what it is, because it really does stand between us and our peace, our happiness, and true fulfillment within our lives. Striving for perfection is a forever moving target, and it's never going to be hit. And it's just going to rob us from a very successful, enriching life if we're not careful. It can overshadow the very little things, little moments that really are not little at all. So the present moment that we should be fully experiencing and living in can be missed altogether. And there's so much value lost in all of that. It's absolutely important to do our best work and to learn from our mistakes and to ask for help and to challenge ourselves, because this is our process and we never want to settle for mediocrity. The dedication and grit is the recipe for high success, but there can just be this fine line between striving, healthy striving, pushing towards our best and being relentless, and also insisting on perfectionism to be the only acceptable result worth celebrating. So I like to think of being relentless as the opposite of being perfect. When you're relentless, you're unstoppable. You get things done by any means necessary. When you're a perfectionist, it often stops you in your tracks, kills your momentum, and the necessary trust that you really have to have in yourself above anything else.
Yes, I have definitely felt at times that perfection was a noble pursuit. So why shouldn't I aim for it? I think that is a key, that you can aim there, but you also have to be real with all the time, experience, and milestones along the way that are imperfectly amazing. Author and podcaster Brené Brown once said, "Perfectionism hampers success. It's often the path to depression, anxiety, addiction, and life paralysis." Life paralysis refers to all the opportunities we miss because we're too afraid to put anything out in the world that could be imperfect. That is a real statement about the potential risks of holding strictly to a belief that one must be perfect or it doesn't count. One point that I really love is that perfectionism does not support practice shots or the time that's required for growth and improvement. Anything you truly feel called to, as we do with day trading, it's worth doing badly. If you do something badly enough, then you can become quite good at it. You really do become good at what you practice. But the practice it's not always pretty. I can attest to that. But it's just a fact of the game. That's practice is what builds you up.
Yes. Okay. I love that sentiment so much. You become good at what you practice. I heard the amazing, incredible, very handsome Denzel Washington say that before on the red carpet. So that's an amazing quote. Here's another perspective. What about the point that if you really love something and pour everything you have into being the best you can be at it, you have excellent resources, coaches, your situation allows you to fully invest in your pursuit. Shouldn't you be striving for perfection? Shouldn't that be the goal? Infamous American football coach Vince Lombardi once said, "Perfectionism is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence." So in this context, it does totally make sense. And it kind of reminds me of another famous quote, "Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." Put some more positive, productive spin on perfectionism for sure, and to use it, as to reframe it as a motivator, not a hindrance. I think the key here is to just not internalize the pain from when you do fail and just drive hard to be neutral. Fully embrace those opportunities to level up and push on. Understanding history only records the shots we do take, so keep taking them. Being mindful that if you only appreciate and be proud of perfection, that will certainly lead to unfulfillment. So I can get behind the idea of striving for perfection so long as we do it with grace for ourselves and understanding that we have to do it at a pace that's meant for us.
Okay, so to counter the striving for perfection, I love, love, love the slight adjustment to striving towards excellence. Adam Grant so wonderfully explains this with his quote, "Perfectionism isn't just impossible, it's counterproductive. Perfectionists are more likely to burn out and less likely to embrace new challenges. Success depends on high standards, not being flawless. The target is not perfection, it's excellence." For me, this is everything that I want to be in my day trading pursuits and my life. I can't afford to burn out with negative emotions and a constant feeling of not being enough. But I love the idea of working daily with high expectations and being curious to explore all the angles and challenges of my pursuit and aiming to be the best version of myself, but without the toxicity element.
For sure. Yes. This is us at Market Mamas, and we found being open and being authentic with you guys with our struggles and our imperfect journey is our value add. Too many times people don't have that appropriate outlet to share the challenges in trading. And it can be really helpful to think out loud with people who are in the arena with you. That's the major silver lining. So we're all stronger with the supportive and involved mastermind community around us, working to be excellent, but with the grace to understand that we're not perfect. We can build an amazing locker room with some ride or die teammates. No one is perfect. Everyone falls. Everyone's learning, making mistakes, saying the wrong things. Nothing's just ever that serious. So author Stephen Barnes once said, perfectionism is procrastination masquerading as quality control. We say F perfection and procrastination. Show up for your life, even on the bad days. Show up in your chosen arena, no matter what yesterday held for you and what tomorrow might bring. Just be present and do your thing day after day. Embrace gratitude for the messy journey in life. For us, that's just such a healthier, more balanced and sustainable lifestyle with striving for excellence at an incredibly challenging pursuit. Because you can't truly love yourself when you're hiding behind a mask of perfection. I don't think you can. It's much healthier to love yourself through this life and just be real. And as my dude, Eddie Pinero says, let people love you or hate you, never tolerate you.
Love me an authentic and understanding mastermind group for sure. I'm so blessed with that. Okay, so let's get proactive with some tips to overcome perfectionism. Here we go. Be aware of your motivations for perfectionism. Recognize that ideals are directions and not absolutes. Respect and love yourself, first and foremost, right? Focus on the big picture and not every little detail. Focus on what can be done and not what has already passed. Delegate and let go instead of trying to do it all by yourself. Enjoy the entire process, as a whole point of life is to enjoy the ride and celebrate the victories and progress made along the way. I think that caring too much about the end goal and paying no heed to the journey sounds sad. You miss life that way, and there's so much beauty in the journey, the day-to-day adventure of it. Perfectionism is a myth anyways. No one is perfect, and if they tell you they are, they're a liar. Progress is the raw reality. So, that's it for me, and that's it for us.
Any of you struggle with the disenchantment from seeking perfection in your own chosen pursuits, be it trading or anything else? This topic really resonated with us, so we just wanted to discuss it with you all. So please drop us some comments and let's keep the discussion going.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being here with us at Market Mamas. This is a good discussion, I think, for us. We knew we had to talk about it. So subscribe, leave us a comment. We're really glad you're here, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.